Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now, I know I've been MIA for quite a while. I kind of posted my first video and then ghosted. But if you follow me on Insta, you know that I've just been so caught up with uni. I had assignments to hand in, I had my dissertation to hand in. So I didn't really have enough time to kind of sit down and film a video for you guys. However, I am now completely done with uni, so I'm going to have a lot more time on my hands to basically just be able to film requested videos from you guys or things that I come up with. So it should be fun. If you follow me on Insta for a while, you might have realised that actually a few months ago I would occasionally post pictures where my eyeshadow colour matches my hijab colour. So I thought to myself that it might be a series that I would like to kind of bring to YouTube. Something unique to me where whatever hijab I'm wearing on that particular day, I would basically match my eyeshadow colour to go with it. So as you can see, today's look is green. I just thought that green would be a really nice way to kind of start it off with. It's a nice bright colour. The sun's shining. Oh, the sun was shining, but now it seems to be cloudy. But that's fine. So I really do hope that you guys enjoy these kind of videos. Let me know what you guys would like to see, either by commenting down or messaging me on my social media, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you guys prefer. If you would like to see how I achieve this look, then stay watching. So as you guys can already see, I've done my brows. However, if you would like to see my brow routine, then by all means comment down below or message me on any of my socials and I am sure I can get that filmed for you guys. The next step that I do in my routine is to basically prime my lids. You can use an eye primer or concealer. I personally use concealer. I think that it works the exact same, and you can use absolutely any concealer. You don't kind of have to pick a specific one. Concealer that I'll be using today is the Revolution Conceal and Define. This concealer is absolutely amazing, guys. Like, I use it to basically prime my eyelids. I use it for my under eyes, you'll see later. All you need to do is basically just prime your lids. It doesn't need to be accurate, like it can be as messy as you need it to be because you're going to basically blend it out after. And then I'll just wet my beauty blender and just have it a little damp because I don't really like it when it's dry. I think that it kind of just wipes everything rather than blends everything out. So you just blend. We're moving on to eyeshadow now. So what I do, guys, is I basically start off with a transition colour, something that is usually just similar to my skin tone. Today I will be using my BH Cosmetics palette. I'm just going to go in with this shade right here at the bottom. So I'll use any fluffy brush that I've got and I will start in the centre right here and I will basically just blend that in. Moving on to the second eye. Now once I've blended that in, I kind of just use a clean brush to make sure that that's blended out even more, because obviously we don't want any harsh lines or anything. So to intensify the colour more, I basically go in with the darkest shade. I will be using this shade right here. I just start off in the middle and I blend around my crease. Sometimes I like to raise my brows because then I can get even like the inner corner, because you don't want all of that to be okay and and then you kind of get to the inner corner and there's no eyeshadow there. It's not a good look. And I use circular motions, especially when I get to the edge here, and then when I get to the top where my creases were just above my crease, I basically use side to side motions. And now we're going to do the same for the other eye. When I do my eyeshadow, I like a round kind of effect. And I like to bring that up to just underneath my brow bone. So now what I do, guys, is basically get a blending brush, any blending brush that you have, just one that you basically don't apply into the actual eyeshadow thing, basically. So I basically just blend this out. It's time to basically cut the crease. With this specific look, I don't cut the crease from the edge, I kind of cut in the middle. What we basically do is you get a concealer. I'm using the LA Girl Pro concealer, and this is in shade medium beige. All I do is I basically apply some to my flat brush. Your brush has to be flat. If you're using a thick brush, a fluffy brush, it's not going to work. Cutting your crease is not going to come out as well as you want it to and as precise as you want it to. I start off in the middle and I kind of just pack it on like this. Pack, pack, pack. And when I get to basically where the crease is, I stop. And what you're trying to basically achieve is kind of like a semicircle, like right in the middle. You then basically do the same for your other eye. You pack, you pack, you pack, you pack, and then you kind of draw your semicircle. So the concealer doesn't need to basically be entirely neat because you are just going to pack on your eyeshadow on top. Now some people like to set their concealer, and that's perfectly fine, you can do that. I used to do that and it works too. But recently I came across beauty bloggers and like Instagrammers and stuff who were saying actually don't set your concealer and just try to basically apply your eyeshadow on top because it intensifies the colour, and it works, you know. That's something that I've been doing recently. I don't set my concealer, I kind of just pack on my eyeshadow straight away. The eyeshadow that I will be using is from the Revolution palette, the Ultimate Colour Chaos palette, and I will be going in with this shimmery green here. Flat brush. It just makes it a lot easier for you to basically apply the shadow precisely. What we're going to basically do is just pack it on where you basically carved the half semicircle on your lid. As you can see, I basically packed it on. It's not neat, it doesn't have to really be neat, to be honest. Ladies, you end up blending everything out together and it just ends up looking absolutely perfect. So you do the same for the next eye. Now what I like to do is basically go in with a darker brown to the one that we used before, but you can either go in with this brown right here or the one next to it. If you want to intensify the colour completely, this one's really good. However, I'm not going to do that because I feel like that I already have a lot going on with the green. Take any brush that you like, preferably a brush that is quite small. This is quite small, quite thin, you know, so it can really get into the crease, it can really get into the corners of both corners of my eyes actually precisely. So you get your brown and you basically just apply it to the corners and drag it up a little bit to your crease just so it basically blends out. What I like to do, guys, is basically kind of blend it in with the green that's in the corners so that nothing's harsh, and in circular motions up the crease, just above the crease, in circular motions. You then basically want to take any blending brush. I prefer this one that I haven't used yet. It's just a bigger one so that I can just kind of move about quickly. Swiftly blend the brown that you just applied. The eyes are basically complete for now. So what I do next is I move on to my face. I've already moisturized. So when it comes to priming, I don't really prime my whole entire face, only because I've realized that when I prime everywhere, what it does is it breaks me out, and sis, I'm not here for that. What I do is I get my primer. This is just the primer from Collection. It is a mattifying pore minimizer. I don't really use it for my pores, I use it for my smile lines more, and you do not need that much. Like, you can probably barely see it, you know, so I just kind of apply it in the corners. Sometimes I will apply it on my chin area and my upper lip area just to kind of stop creasing there too. However, it's really up to you. Some people don't even use primers, you know. By all means, if that's you, then stick to it. Stick to what works for you, ladies. Don't feel like that because everybody else is using something, so using a primer, that means you have to use a primer. Like I said, I don't put primer on the rest of my face because it breaks me out. I'm not going to put primer on my face even though I know it breaks me out because everybody else uses it. No way. So now that this area is primed, I kind of let it sit for about 30 seconds to a minute. Today's foundation will be the Huda Beauty foundation. So what I do is I basically apply my foundation on my flat foundation Real Techniques brush, and then I basically apply it under my eyes in places where I basically have like scarring and stuff. I don't apply it absolutely everywhere, otherwise then it gets a bit too much. On my forehead, a little bit on my chin, and some on the top of my lip. Then what I do is I go in with my kabuki brush. I've recently started using a kabuki brush because I kind of got really bored of just using a beauty blender. I don't think it provides me with the amount of coverage that I want. But with a kabuki brush, you really do work it into your skin, so it kind of leaves the foundation there anyway. Like I said, you're working it into your skin. And that little foundation, honestly, it goes a long way. What I then do is I go in with concealer under my eyes. I am going to go back in with that same concealer that I used to prime my eyelids. This concealer is absolutely amazing and it's only £4. Like, I use a lot of their products because their quality is amazing, especially for like a drugstore brand, you know. What we're going to basically end up doing is applying it under the eyes, but kind of dragging it down a little bit and across so that it's kind of looking like a triangle. I'm just gonna dampen my beauty blender a little bit. I basically use the flatter side rather than the rounder side because when you get to the corner here, it just lines up really well. And you're kind of just working it in. What I basically do next is I contour, and I use my sleek contour kit. This is in the shade medium. Oh, it's nearly done, but I basically use this end shade. Pick up any flat brush that you've got. A good way to basically be able to use as an outline is if you pretend you're sucking a lemon and then you kind of carve underneath where the hollow bit is. And then you just bring it up basically. And then you do the same for the next side, as always. What I do is I blend it out. What I then basically do is, it depends, whatever's closest to me. I will either set my under eyes, my smile line area, my mouth area, my forehead and underneath my contour, or I will bronze up my face first. My bronzer's right here. My favourite bronzer, one that's been working for me for years actually, is the Revolution bronzer in the shade Bronzer Kiss. What I do is I get a contour brush and I kind of just pull it up. And then I go in with a bigger blending brush. So now that we've bronzed up the face, I then basically go in to set everywhere else around my face that hasn't been set. My favourite, ultimate favourite setting powder is Laura Mercier. I have tried other setting powders and compared to Laura Mercier, I don't think that any other setting powder does the job. So this, my face doesn't get oily throughout the day, my smile lines do not appear. My holy grail, guys, my holy grail. Now we're just going to basically take the whole thing off. So I use my Real Techniques. I use my Real Techniques powder brush to basically dust off any of the powder. To basically make sure that I'm not looking all washed out and stuff because of the powder, I just go back in with my bronzer just a little bit. You don't want it to be too much. The next step would possibly be, what I do is I'll basically grab any of the palettes that I used. I'm just going to pick this one up because it is the closest one to me. I'll pick a shade, a brown shade usually, just lightly. You don't need that much at all. You will use this pointy brush and you will outline just underneath your waterline with it. Now, because it's a green look and because you want the green to stand out, you have to go in with a green. I'm probably going to use this top one. And again, you just put it in your water, underneath your waterline. I was gifted this BH Cosmetics palette by a very close friend of mine. So thank you, baby girl, because this palette is literally my life. Like, it's got absolutely every colour, and I mean, I'm trying to get hold of the Morphe palette that has the greens, the yellows, the blues, all of that, and it's just always out of stock, and it's so frustrating because I need it. Okay, now what I go in with is my mascara. The other day actually I did something that was terrible and it ruined everything for me before I was leaving. I I was gonna make the same mistake again. Mascara is not the next step, ladies. The next step is to set your face. Now, I have the e.l.f. setting spray and I have the Urban Decay setting spray. They're both really, really good. Sometimes I even apply them together, you know, if I want that extra hold, but to be honest, either one is fine. Today I'm just going to use the e.l.f. one. What you're going to do is you're going to spray. And then I just grab anything to then basically just fan it. I then go in with my mascara. I don't do my mascara before setting my face because the other day, it's been fine, but the other day I did it as normal and I set my face and my mascara just ended up smudging everywhere and it just ruined my whole look and I had to start all the way from the beginning, imagine. And it takes me usually 2 hours to get ready. So I've learnt my lesson and I set my face before applying my mascara. And on your bottom lashes. Ladies, don't neglect your bottom lashes, like, especially if you're gonna have like actual lashes on. Like, I just think that if you put mascara on your bottom lashes, it really does transform your look and it just makes it look 10 times better. Now that I've basically put my mascara on, I'm going to put my lashes on. So guys, I'm back. Lashes are now on. If you would like a tutorial on how I basically put my lashes on, then as always, comment down below or message me on any of my social media and I will make sure that I can get that done for you guys. The next step is applying highlighter. My go-to, my everyday highlighter is the Revolution Strobe Highlighter in the shade Gold Addict. This highlighter, guys, it is just, it's so nice, it's so subtle. Even if you put too much, it's not really too much, you know, like it just works really, really well with my skin tone. And then if I want to go for basically something that is even more full, I'll go for my baby, my trophy wife, my ultimate favorite, bought by my best friend for my birthday, so shout out to Reem. I'm so in love with it. Like, if I want that extra boost in highlight, then this is what I go for. I think today I'm just gonna stick to the Gold Addict Revolution Strobe Highlighter, apply it on my cheekbones, and I drag it down to where my bronzer is. The final step, guys, is lips. My absolute favourite is my MAC lip gloss. The stickers come off. That is very, very, very annoying. An everyday lip gloss. This is the complete look. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching the video, see how I achieved this look. I hope it was easy to follow. It's kind of hard getting adjusted to the camera when you first start YouTube because you're not talking to anyone, you're kind of basically talking to the lens. I really do hope that you have enjoyed watching this video. Make sure that you comment and you let me know what exactly it is that you guys would like to see from me in the future. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you guys soon.